我们首先敬礼传承祖师，
let's pay homage to the lineage
敬礼
gurus,
了明和尚，
homage to the Venerable
敬
Monk
礼
Liao Ming,
萨迦正空上师，
homage to Master Sakya
敬礼
Zeng Kong,
16世大宝法王卡玛巴，
homage to His
敬礼
Holiness the 16th
图登达
Karmapa,
尔吉上师，
and homage to Master
敬礼
Dukdan Tarji,
坛城三宝，敬礼
homage to the
今
three
天
jewels
护
of
摩
the
的祖
altar,
尊
and homage to the main deity of Homa
吉利
today,
吉拉雅。
Vajrakilaya.
师母，图登西地，
师母
仁波切，
Dukdan Siddhi
各位上
Rinpoche,
师、教授师、法师、
all Dharma
讲
masters,
师、
Dharma
助教、
educators, Dharma
堂主
teachers,
以及各位同门，
Dharma
还有
lecturers,
网
Dharma
络上的同门，
assistants, directors of temples and chapters, and all fellow disciples present here and
今
over
天
the
我们与
webcast.
会的贵宾是
And our
台湾省
participating
政
VIPs
府
today
秘书
are
长郑培福先生
the
及
Chief
夫人
Secretary
韩
of
木
the
珍
Taiwan
女士，
government, Mr. Zheng Pei Fu, and Madam,
中山医学大学附
and
设
from the
医院
Zhongshan Medical
整形外
College,
科主任
the
郑
affiliated
生龙
plastic
博士。
surgery department, the head of the department, Dr. Zhen Sanglong,
中国中法律顾问
the law
罗志
advisor
良
to
律
True
师
Buddha Foundation,
王业勤律师，
Mr. Luo Reyang and Miss Kim Long,
中国中博士教授团及
and
医
True
护
Buddha
团
School
前几
Scholars
成员
Group and the Medical Group.
敬以企业公司总经理张怡珍
And
女
from the
士，
enterprise, the Jingyi Enterprise General Manager, Ms. Zhang Yizhen.
马来西亚纳都李海
And
安
from
先生，
Malaysia, the
夫
Datuk
人纳丁
Li Hai
李
An
清女
and
士
the Datin
及千金
Li Qin
李琦小姐
and，their daughter, Miss Li Qi.
台南市议会蔡望前议员代
And the
表，
rep to the council from Tainan City,
沙雕艺术家
and the sense
王松关
sculptor,
老师，
the artist, Mr. Wang,
山东卫康
and
生
from
物集
Santong,
团
China, the Santong
董
Wei
事总裁
Biological
刘
Group,
正
the
鹏
president,
先生，
Mr. Liu,
台湾区董事长姚东平女士，
and the president of the Taiwan district, Miss Yao,
上海珍珠王
and from
实业有
Shanghai
限公司
Pearl
董
King
事长
Industrial Company,
廖
the
敬
chairman,
堂先生，
Mr. Liao,
My University same classmate 朱金水先生及夫人陈泽霞女士，
Mr. Zhu Jinsui, and Madam Miss Chen Zhexiang,
华光功德会总会长及
and
大
the
圆满
president
九
of
师
the
弟
Worldwide Lotus Light
喜
Charity
金刚讲
Society,
义及
and
密
the
宗道
producers
次
for
第广
the
论
Great Perfection
制作
Dharma
人
Hevaja Exposition
莲
and
月
Development
上
Stages
师，
of Tantrayana, Master Lian Yue,
主持人佩君师姐，
and the host, Dharma Sister Peiju,
道果严结晶主持人
and the host for
莲
Lamdre,
海上师。
and the Sutra of Perfect Enlightenment, Master Lian Hai,
中天电视台给你点上心
producers
灯，制
for
作
Geni
人
Gensang Shinten, the
徐雅琪师姐。
Illuminating Your Heart from the CTI TV Taiwan, Dharma Sister Rebecca Shiachi,
My sister 卢胜美女士
Miss Lu Seng Mei,
，My sister 卢国英女士 and husband。
Miss Lu Guoying, and her husband.
感谢纽
And
约
thank
浸
you
会
to
同修
the
会打斋
Jinghui Spiritual Center from New York for their donation of 100,000 NT dollars. Good afternoon, everybody. How do you do?
Selamat siang. Selamat petang. Kamsahamnida. Sawadika. Hola, amigo. Que quiero mucho. Saudi. Merci beaucoup. Good afternoon and normal. Konnichiwa.
Greetings, everybody. First of all, I would like to announce that one day, in my sleep, I saw a lady standing at the head of my bed. And hazily, I thought it was Simu. I almost get shocked and wake up. And then when I observed clearly, it was not Simu. It turned out to be my English translator's Hanifa Dharma sister's mother. After that vision, I was being driven by Hanifa to go home, and Hanifa told me, no, that her mom was sent to the ER. And I told her to call the ER or your friends and ask about your mom's condition. And she made a phone call that her mom had passed away in Malang, Indonesia, at her home. And then I told Hanifa that in my dream, I saw your mom coming to see me. And then I also told her that your mother would have sariras in her body. And on the second day, Hanifa Dharma sister flew back to Indonesia to take care of her mother's funeral. And it turned out that her mother woke up in the morning and cooked a lot of things, a lot of food, to send to friends, to close friends. And she was sitting that she was about to leave, and she was seated. She was not sick at all. And she was seated on a chair and then passed away. This is very, very rare. In the morning, she was still okay. And she was seated in a chair, and all of a sudden she felt that she was about to leave, and then she left the world. Only people with great attainments, only Mahasiddhas can die seated. She didn't go to the hospitals. She just felt that she was losing weight, and she did not have any other medical problems. And she was seated in a chair and passed away. And the time of her passing was that moment when I saw a Dharma sister appearing near my bed. And then Hanifa had her mother cremated, and upon the cremation produced sariras. And do you know what the sariras are? They're like macadamia nuts. Have you eaten them, macadamia nuts? It's round and whitish. They're quite huge. Her sariras look like macadamia nuts, and they are Vajra sariras. On the screen, you can see the sariras. On the monitor. And the pictures, those are just a few. They're actually a bowl of them. It's like a bowl of macadamia nuts. I felt very touched seeing them. Today, Hanifa came back. The translator last week was Dharma Sister Suran, and today Hanifa is doing the translation. She's back, and she came back last night. And she showed us the sarira and the sarira flowers. They are with all different colors, rainbow colors, and a bowl of sariras. They're like nuts, like beets. They're like beets. The nickname Toto is a girl from the line dance group. They're called the Vajra Sarira. So at noon, I did the spiritual consultation. Where has her mother gone to? Has she gone to the Mahatwin Lotus Pond at the Western Paradise of the Buddha land? No. How come? She didn't go to the Mahatwin Lotus Pond. Where has she gone to? So I performed the consultation again. Has she gone to the heavenly realms? No. And then I did the consultation again. Has she attained Buddhahood? No. So, and then I consulted about the Bodhisattvahood. So she's become the 7th ground Kuan Yin Bodhisattva. So she's reached the Kuan Yin Bodhisattva 7th ground. Wow, that's so incredible. How come? She's gone to the 7th ground of the Bodhisattvahood. Kuan Yin Bodhisattva. What does she do usually? How did she practice? Maybe we can follow. And then she said, only 2 things. Truly, from 1992 she started. She chanted the Root Guru mantra non-stop. Of course, over 8 million times. And we don't know how much more or how many more than 8 million times. She focused on chanting the Root Guru mantra from 1992, chanting until now. She's 83, until she was 83. And she passed away at 83. She started from 1992. And she also chanted the Hiking Kuan Yin Sutra. Do you remember? Hanifa's father, Hanifa's dad, also chanted Hiking Kuan Yin Sutra, and he also produced sariras. For her, she just focused on the Root Guru mantra and Hiking Kuan Yin Sutra, and she also do practices, but that's not the focus. Hanifa always asked her to perform Dharma practice, and she always replied, the Root Guru mantra is good enough. And Hanifa asked her to practice the qi, the energy, that she learned it right away. She could do it right away as soon as she was taught. The Treasure of His Energy Yoga, the Vajra chanting, and the 9-cycle Buddha breathing. And she could do it right away. Just by chanting the Root Guru mantra and the Hiking Kuan Yin Sutra. They're just 2 as the primary ones, and also Dharma practice. And she could attain the fruition of the Kuan Yin Bodhisattva. Frankly speaking, let me tell you, in the future, when Grandmaster is being cremated, I don't guarantee that I have sariras. I can't guarantee. I can't guarantee. But I realize that those who are very earnest in their spiritual cultivation and do it simpler, they would produce sariras, and they would have the holy passings. Like Master Lien Teng, he immediately attained Buddhahood. Master Lien Hua Yiming had full, huge bags of sariras and attained Buddhahood immediately. And Master Liu Wenqing attained Buddhahood directly. And also Master Lien Ping also had attainment directly. And look at Hanifa's mother. Maybe you don't know her. Maybe some of you know her. She just honestly and sincerely do and chant the Root Guru mantra and the Hiking Kuan Yin Sutra. And it turned out that she attained the fruition of the Kuan Yin Bodhisattvas, the seventh ground of the Bodhisattvahood. As a spiritual cultivator, the most important thing is first, can you use your soul can you communicate or connect to the root guru, to your root guru, to your root yidam, and to your root protector? To the utmost, supreme, greatest consciousness. Can you be in line with it? Can your supreme consciousness descend and be union with you, with the physical you? At any moment, can you be together with your root guru, yidam, and protector? Completely the same and inseparable. Can you be in meditation? Can you feel or realize your yidam in front of you and enter into you and be union with the yidam? In entering samadhi, in meditation, can your yidam enter into your body and completely merge with you? And even in the daily activities, in normal life, in your mind, as soon as you are mindful of them, can your root guru, yidam, and protector appear and come immediately? Only this is the true sage. You're not focused on the materialistic world. You're not focused on fame, positions, money. And even your own bodies of this materialistic world, your look, your skills, your talents, your memory, or you focus on food. So, one thing is most important for spiritual cultivation. Has your spiritual life, has your spirit improved? Has it surpassed that anytime you're mindful of your yidam, that the yidam will descend? Let me tell you, every time when I walk back from the Homa fire pit, I gaze at the Golden Mother, my Heavenly Mother, my Mother from the Heavenly Realm. I always looked at her, and she always looked sideways, and she was not looking at me. So I don't feel quite good about it. So I'm gazing at you and you don't even look at me. I am Grandmaster. But today, as I walk back from the Homa fire pit, and I gaze at Golden Mother, and Golden Mother gazes at me directly. Usually she ignores me. But today, I looked at her and she looked back and she smiled. So I felt that, oh, I have hopes. Many times, she doesn't look at me directly and her face was always looking sideways. But this time, she looked straight at me. So that meant that I can be saved because every day I called upon her, my mother in heavens. Please increase my wisdom, improve my wisdom, enhance my wisdom. Please fill my whole body with your ambrosia. Please bestow upon me so that my spirit or soul is completely the same as your spirit and soul. May I continue to have good health in order to deliver and save sentient beings. May all those who pray can have their prayers be granted. May those who ask for Bardo deliverance, may the Bardo spirits be delivered to the Buddha lands. Those are my prayers every day. That's how I pray every day. I don't lie to you. May those who pray have their prayers be granted. May those who ask for Bardo deliverance, may their Bardo spirits be delivered to the pure Buddha lands. Every day, that's what I pray for. After performing my Dharma practice, that's my merit dedication. Today, Hanifa's mother, she's attained Kuan Yin Bodhisattva, the seventh ground of Bodhisattvahood. So the seventh ground has been considered the great perfection stage. So one above the sixth. So first to sixth is the development stage, but the seventh and up is the perfection stage. So we are truly grateful to Hanifa's father and mother to set a great example for spiritual cultivation, so that all of us spiritual cultivators may have this great attainment. So today, this deity Vajrakilaya is a Heruka from very early times. When Guru Padmasambhava entered into Tibet, he subdued the king of ghosts with great power that transformed to become Vajrakilaya. That's why earlier I called upon him as Guru Vajrakilaya. Because Guru Padmasambhava, when he went into Tibet, Guru Padmasambhava entered into the heart of Vajrakilaya. that transformed to become Vajrakilaya, to become the Guru Vajrakilaya. So as we know, Guru, like Guru Rinpoche, is the lotus-born, and Guru Vajrakilaya is the Vajrakilaya transformed by Guru Padmasambhava. Once he set up the Vajrakilaya 13 deities, and he instructed his consort Yeshe Chogal to receive the empowerment of the 13 deities Vajrakilaya. So Vajrakilaya is a protector or Heruka of a very early time. So that's why in Nyingmapa they highly revere the Vajrakilaya. So, and all the Tibetan sects of Tantric Buddhism all highly revere Vajrakilaya. So he's the great protector of both Mahayana and Tantrayana. So he's the union of Vajrasattva, wrathful emanation, which is Vajrapani, and then Manjusri's Yamantaka and Kuan Yin's Hayagriva. So the front one is the Vajrapani, and to one side is Yamantaka, which is a manifestation of Manjusri, and to the other side is Hayagriva, which is a manifestation of Kuan Yin Bodhisattva. 3 heads, 6 arms, and then the 2 arms at the center is holding the Dorje Purba or Vajra Purba. So the first time I met Master Dubdan Dorje from the Fulong mountain at the Chuanwan, Hong Kong, and the first thing he ever bestowed upon me is the Dorje Purba of Vajrakilaya with 3 faces. So every time I perform the Dharma rituals, I often use this Vajra, the single scepter, and with 3 faces of Vajra Dorje Purba. I always used it, and I placed it in my room at the Tantric Quarter in Seattle, and I sticked it into a mound of rice, into a bowl of rice. So that's Vajrakilaya. Of course, he has tremendous power, and he also has wings. Not very many Herukas with wings. And his wings are like blades of knives, like blades, very thin, razor thin blades. You know, those are blades that we used when we were students. They're like razor blades, like for shaving. Those are what we use when we didn't have the electric shaver. So his wings are like that. When he flew, when the blades flew, nobody could stop them and could chop off anybody's heads. Very sharp and strong. And he also has Bardo deliverance rituals. So the empowerments today will include Bardo deliverance, protecting us from black magics, and the third one is for wealth. So how do we protect ourselves from black magics? If you suffer from other people's curses and spells, very easy. Just perform the Vajrakilaya Homa, and then you yourself go to the cemetery and find a stick or a branch of a tree of about 7-inch long and shave off the skin and cut it into 7 inches. And if you know who has cast you a black spells, then you write his or her name on a 7-inch long stick that has the skin shaven already. And then you put that stick inside a Homa fire. Then your spell would be taken care of. It's very rare. It's very rare and effective. And if you don't know who's cast you the black magic or spells, then you just say the nameless one. And then you pick the branch that had fallen on the ground in the cemetery, and then you cut it into 7-inch length. And then you write on it nameless. And then you perform the Homa of Vajrakilaya, and then you throw that stick of branch into the fire, and your black magic or spells would be alleviated, would be eliminated. There are some tips and tricks to this Dharma ritual. In order to invoke Vajrakilaya to descend, the most important thing is the 2 upright fingers those were 4 mudras. The most straight and upright ones is the mudra of Vajrakilaya, Dorje Purva. Slightly bent, it's for Yamantaka. And the one cross is the mudra of Ragaraja, Heruka. And the one with 2 separate fingers, that's the Vajra teeth of Siddhikarma Bodhisattva. So what I formed earlier are 4 different mudras. And tomorrow we have the ceremony at the Fuyu temple at Hsinchu, the ceremony for Skanda and Sangarama. And their mudras are very similar. And the mudra for Skanda and Sangarama are the same. And very similar to the mudra of Vajrakilaya, with one difference. And I will form it for everyone tomorrow. So I welcome you to become primary supplicant tomorrow. Also welcome your participation tomorrow. The ceremony at Hsinchu, Taiwan, organized by Fuyu Lechang Temple. Skanda Bodhisattva and Sangarama are 2 protectors. One is holding the demon subduing scepter. He's the protector of Sakyamuni Buddha. And the other one is holding the huge knife with the green dragon. How could they become Sakyamuni Buddha's protectors? And you invoke them to become your protectors? Then does it mean that you are Sakyamuni Buddha? They're really great. So tomorrow, Skanda, the revered Skanda and Sangharama are enshrined and worshipped inside all of the temples. They are two great protectors. So anyone remembers the Skanda and Sangharama protectors that were now upstairs, that they have suffered from injuries before? Do you remember? Someone nailed onto their feet. We don't know who did that. You know, nails for the railroad track. You know, each of the board for the railroad track, they use a kind of nails to hold them down. Someone screwed that on, screwed those kind of nails on to the Skanda and Sangharama upstairs when there were nobody else around. And they thought that they could hold them down. But, you know, the evil person who did that have their own feet held down and they could not move their feet now. That's based on what I know. How could someone like that exist? Such a ridiculous person who did that, nailed the nails to the feet of Skanda and Sangharama. But at the end of the day, they are actually nailing upon their own feet, putting the nails onto their own feet. So there are 13 different looks or images of Vajrakilaya. And one time, Master Lutzu searched and found 13 different Vajrakilayas. So Vajra Master Lutzu had received the empowerment of Vajrakilaya. And today, you will receive the empowerment of Vajrakilaya for Bardu deliverance. And you can check on the internet for the details. And also to protect yourself from black magics. And also for wealth. There are key formulas in each of these practices. It's time for dinner. Amitabha. Let me teach a little bit about Lamdre. I have taught about the positions of the 5 Dhyani Buddhas and 32 Dakinis and 60 Dakinis and 8 Dakinis. So what are they? But let me tell you. That's 60 channels, 32 channels. So the channels are the Dakinis. So it's written here. 5 palaces from top to bottom Vairocana Buddha's palace, Amitabha Buddha's palace, Akshoba Buddha's palace, Ratnasambhava Buddha's palace, Amoghasiddhi's Buddha's palace. That's for the 5 chakras. At the brow chakra, throat chakra, heart chakra, navel chakra, and secret chakra. So the 5 Buddhas at the 5 chakras. And when you read the Lamdre Vaja verses, you would know about their look and how many goddesses around them. 32 goddesses at the brow chakra, due to the 32 channels in the body. And at the throat chakra, it's the location of Amitabha Buddha and surrounded by 16 goddesses due to the 16 channels in the body. And then Akshoba's Buddhas surrounded by 8 goddesses, which is due to the 8 petals of the lotus at the heart chakra, due to the 8 primary channels at the heart chakra, the 8 goddesses. And the second palace, and then the first palace is the palace of the Ratnasambhava Buddha. And you can check how many channels. And then the second palace at the Amoghasiddhi Buddha. And how many channels for how many goddesses. Then you would know. And then the visualize and the existing realm for a total of 6 times 2 equal 12 deities, and at the branch a total of 10 home wrathful Vidya Rajas at the joints around your body. So 12 means there are 12 months in a year. So 6 times 2 and 12. There's a way to visualize them inside your body. So that's how it is. And in this way, the emanation or manifestation of the channels outwardly and inside the syllables. So those that are related to the syllables are Sambhogakaya, and related to the ambrosia or light drops are Dharmakaya, and to the chi are the true kaya. And from the path of the bodily form, one can attain the Renyun attainment of the 4 kayas. And at the beyond measurement palace of the light protection wheels, there are 157 deities. We often say there are 100 of peaceful and wrathful deities of Mahotara Heruka. There's just one way of saying it, because we haven't counted the Buddha mothers. But if you count it in detail, the total is 157 deities. So that's how you visualize them. So the paths, broad, middling, and essential, 3 kinds of empowerments can guarantee realization grounds. So realization ground is the way to visualize until you realize. Next is on the realization. On the path of real practice, the 3 innate realizations that arise are the innate realization of appearances, the innate realization of emptiness, things that comes from the empty sky, and the innate realization of dual execution. So the innate realization of the Vidyarajas or the Buddhas in dual execution due to compassion. So skillful means and emptiness. The dual execution of skillful means and emptiness that generate to innate realization. So each of which is the existential Dharma practice of turning the appearances of ignorance. They are to abandon the Dharma nature of all kinds of games and attachment, to choose a union with the innate realization and all the various forms. So the innate realization of dual execution, the innate realization of emptiness, and the innate realization of appearances. 3 kinds. So let me tell you, the true tantric Buddha Dharma has many seeing or many visions or realizations. Like Grandmaster always flies in my dreams. I'm free in my sleep and dream. Nobody can control me. I can fly anytime I want. Like last night. Actually, the night before last night. To my utmost consciousness, my mother of the heavenly realm, I told her that I want to see someone, and then I am together with that someone. So I have such a... So whenever I tell her, then I would be able to see her. As long as I tell my utmost mother, if I want to fly to a place, then that night I would fly to that place. So let me ask you now, can you tell your utmost yidam or deity that you want to go fly to a certain place and then you go exactly like that? If you can, then you have this realization or seeing, and this is called the vision or seeing in the dreams. And then if you have the seeing or vision physically, or the seeing between Buddha nature and Buddha nature, like I said earlier, are you able to communicate to your utmost consciousness? Can you be in union with your utmost consciousness? Can your heart and mind invoke your root guru, yidam, and protector and be union with them? If you are able to do so, then you have success in your spiritual cultivation. If you're not able to do so, then please continue and put in your efforts. My wife asked me, is your former wife or your current wife more beautiful? And I replied, so even when my former wife put on cosmetics, she doesn't look as good as you. Huh? No? Ashes. She's not. Even she doesn't look as good as your ash. That's the homophone of Chinese. On the train home, there was a beautiful lady sitting next to me. So I chatted with her. So, from which college are you from? I'm from a certain medical college. And it turned out that that lady was a doctor. So that beautiful lady was a doctor. Well, I'll go see you whenever I'm sick. And then she replied that I'm one to check on the corpses. You know, they're beautiful ladies that are doctors this day, and they're young too. Whether they're dentists or just regular. I remember when Dr. Lee was chasing after girls, he would pretend to be sick and go see those female doctors, lady doctors. This is a long joke. A man went to a bar and ordered 2 glasses of wine. And the bartender asked, why 2 glasses? One for me, one for my friend. But he's sick and hospitalized, so I drink for him. And the second day, he went to the bar again and just ordered 1 glass of wine. And the bartender asked, so has your friend passed away? Nonsense. Then why did you just drink 1 glass? Oh, because I stopped drinking. So do you understand? So it's his friend who is drinking. There are lots of riddles in this joke. Don't know how a bat flew into the office and the female colleagues were screaming. And there was a fat female colleague next to me. And she was checking on the website if the bat can be eaten. So there's a reason why someone is fat. You can ask Master Hui Jin. You know, the mice at my home can open the fridge. Someone from Malaysia, Dharma Sister Yixin, gave us some durians, the Mao San Wang, and they were placed inside the fridge. And Hui Jin opened the door of the fridge, and I said the mice can open the fridge, and that's the reason for weight gain. So how many durians have you eaten? So you put Lien Yi down with you. You wanted to eat them, but Lien Yi did not, and you forced her to eat too. Because Hui Jin said she could not finish them all, so she gives some to Lien Yi. There's a reason why someone is fat. cause and effect. Cause and effect. Because there's a cause, then you have the effect. So look at Hanifa's mom. There's a reason why she had the attainment of the 7th ground of Bodhisattvahood, the fruition of Kuan Yin Bodhisattva. If you cultivate spiritually the best you can, of course in Lamdre, there's so many things just about the body mandala, there's so much. There are so many secret dharma inside Lamdre. But inside it, it just teaches you how to practice and what kind of fruitions you would attain from that Dharma practice. That's why it's called the path and its fruit. So you have to practice on the path in order to attain the fruit. So that's why it's called Lamdre, the path and its fruit. So you have to cultivate spiritually on the path in order to attain its fruition or its fruits. So there's always a reason to anything, to everything. So my utmost yidam today, she especially looked directly at me. So Grandmaster has hopes now. Look, other people have attainments already. So look how bad I am. So as long as you cultivate spiritually, earnestly and steadily, then you would have attainments. Grandmaster is not the first, because I'm like a shepherd delivering sentient beings in the shepherd way, that all the lambs are walking in front of me and the shepherd is last at the back. So that's the salvation of sentient beings in the shepherd way, and there's also the simultaneous salvation of the sentient beings, which is like riding on the boat together, arriving at the other shore together. And there's one more salvation is in the style of the king, that I would have attainment first and then I deliver sentient beings. And then there's the salvation of the same boat, and then there's also the salvation of the like a shepherd in the shepherd way. Om Mani Padme Hum.